Hi everyone, my name is Kim, and I've been asked by my newfound friend and soul sister Alicia to put together this little video that kind of explains a vision that we kind of share, and probably a lot of you are feeling the same thing. So I wanted to start out with first telling a little story. About 2009, I had this experience. It was a dream, but it was very, very vivid, almost kind of like a lucid dream. It was a very powerful experience. And in this dream, I walked up to this hideous looking creature. It was a monster like an octopus. And if you've seen the TV show Stranger Things, it was that. It had all these tentacles, and it was dark and menacing. And I walked up and looked right into its eye, and with authority, I said, "We are sovereign beings of light and choose to no longer be under your control." And immediately I just touched its tentacle, and it deflated instantly like a balloon. And I turned and I walked out, and before me was a vast gathering of people that rejoicing, and I knew, intuitively I knew, that it was fear that fed that monster, and that we had been under its influence and its control for eons. And the time had come where we all recognized our power, our light, our love, our strength, and chose no longer to be under the control of fear and greed and control, and rose up and said, now it's our time to live and to be freed from that influence. And here we are today. We are in that great awakening, and it's happening. We've all individually have been doing some deep work that has allowed us to grow and strengthen, so that we can look at that menacing shadow monster that we have come to understand is the deep state that has been working underneath the surface, operating and controlling, that we are being set free now from that. It's because we're doing it, and we're growing in strength and in love and in freedom from our own personal fears, and now a collective fear. So I had that and have been holding that and growing in myself. And just recently, I was kind of guided to go to this rally in Tampa, the Great Awakening Rally. And it was really my first time to, I heard of Q, and I was completely aware of all of the truth telling that was happening, but it was my first time of actually gathering with other people. And I was amazed. I was just the bond that everybody shared here in this setting were hundreds of people from a variety of backgrounds and beliefs, and yet they all shared that common love for freedom, for truth, for personal dignity. And it was magical. It was so empowering. And of course, when you're in that kind of vibration, magic happens. And I connected with some individuals that were like, a long lost soul. A perfect reflection of my own self. It was like, I know you. And I connected with Alicia, and it was beautiful. So when I returned home, it was like, it's not enough anymore so grateful for all of the connections that we have through Twitter and YouTube, and the citizen journalists and truth tellers that have been out there and doing the work and sharing these things has what fueled us to this point. But it's like, it's not enough. It's like, we need to come together, physically embody, connect, nurture that awakening spirit that is just growing within all of us. So I sat with that, and I kind of felt like, I'm sure other people are feeling the same thing. So I wrote something up to Alicia, and found out, yes, we hold this same vision of what it would be like if there were, some central organization or group that began to organize, within state by state, Q chapters, Q hubs, whatever we want to call them, but it would be for the purpose to serve as a bridge within the community. Because as people begin to wake up, you know, we don't want to have the attitude, okay, the swamp's cleared, yay, we won, let's move on. That's not in the spirit of where we go one, we go all. These people, the Democrats, the liberals, whatever, we don't come from a place of hatred. We've all been at some level asleep, unconscious, lied to, deceived. And so these are just fellow brothers and sisters. All of us have just beginning to awaken and become more conscious. And so how we move forward in a spirit of unity, reconciliation, honoring, loving one another, building the future on that platform. The days of this duality and fighting and I'm right and you're wrong and all of that's what we're growing beyond. And yes, we need this period where we're clearing out the cobwebs, the shadows, the darkness that's been in our collective consciousness, in our personal consciousness, so that we can begin to really build those bridges of listening and honoring and bringing everybody together. So part of the vision is seeing these chapters as physical places where we are nurturing one another. We're feeling that connection. We're keeping that flame of awakening alive and also nurturing a brighter vision of how we can all come together. How do we respect everybody and build on the foundations of transparency, truth, freedom, and love? So it could be these little chapters, these little hubs could be places where people within the community, they're starting to wake up. And so it's an available place for resources, which are out there on the internet. Thankfully, we have just so many gifted people that are sharing their talents selflessly. It's just breathtaking. But to actually come together in physical spaces, and it's like it really gives the ideas and the talk into a actual physical anchoring, building type, I call it embodiment. We begin to embody the truth. We begin to really embody all that Q represents for us. And to me, where we go one, we go all is for everybody. And that's the new world on which we need to move forward in transparency and truth and freedom. So we're just putting that out there, that these little groups come together. And I know for me, this is a personal recognition of us, like we've all prepared for this moment in time. It's like every one of us in all in our different ways have been preparing, personally growing spiritually to this moment in time. And I know for me, the years and years and years of spiritual work and is coming to this place where I've always felt I was like a mama bear that was just to nurture all of these groups and all of these young people that are going to really actually build our new world in truth and integrity. And I just could see going from chapter to chapter, from place to place, to nurture that spirit. And so my heart is excited about the possibilities of what we can create together, a real foundational network of groups that are reaching out, connecting in the community, being that presence, that unifying, loving presence of reconciliation, honoring, listening to one another, and beginning to really envision and create and move forward in ways that are representing the growth in our consciousness and the growth in our, and it's the spiritual awakening. So I think that's probably a lot to consider, and I look forward to seeing how this emerges. It's just time. It is so time, and we are really, it's such an incredible time to be here together, bringing this new consciousness, this new awakening, this new world together in love. So thank you for letting me share. I look forward to actually meeting a lot of you in person. That will be really exciting. So I can give everybody one of my mama hugs. Okay? So thanks for listening, and we'll connect. Talk to you later. Bye.